Well, hello everyone. Welcome into round number 17 of MotoOption Supercross live here on SYS TV. It is the finale. We are live from Las Vegas. We have a tremendous title fight to talk about. And with me tonight, joining me to talk about all this fun, to break you guys down through these races. First up, I'd like to welcome in our 2012 250 East Supercross champion from way back in the day. It's Mark Zeidler. How you doing tonight, Mark?
Good, dude. How is everyone tonight?
All hanging in here, I think. And our other guest, our fairly regular co-host, not so much this year, but previously so, Race Tech Suspension's own Chris Riesenberg. How you doing tonight, Checkers?
I am excited to see some fireworks. I think it's going to look a lot like the 4th of July out on the racetrack tonight, going for that 450 championship up for grabs.
Yeah, that 450 championship is the talking point tonight, guys. 250 West and East already both wrapped up. Obviously, we're going to have another showdown similar to the one we had earlier this season, so that might be a little bit of fun to see who's going to reign supreme in the showdown. But the 450 class, without question, is our talking point. And, of course, I'm talking about the title fight. Alexis Leclerc and Colton Mitchell are tied going into the final round. It doesn't get much better than that, huh, Chris?
Yeah, it should be really, really exciting. It's been an action-packed, drama-filled year. Some of it involving our championship contenders, and of course some guys that were part of the title fight out of the series. I don't expect anything less than fireworks tonight.
And these guys, I've been pretty familiar with each other before, and obviously become a little bit more acquainted with each other all year. And I know, Mark, you started watching a little bit later in the season, but if you had to pick one who has the upper hand going into this finale, who do you put your money on?
If you were asking me to place a bet, it would be on Colton Mitchell. Just because I think some of the behind-the-scenes teamwork and whatnot is going to play into it.
Yeah, that's going to be another factor we'll have to look at in regards to Leclerc. Obviously, there's been some drama regarding Leclerc and former champion of the National Series, Jesse Mullins, earlier this year. That kind of carried over into some of the other teams that are involved. Jeremy Seebold has been involved with Alexis Leclerc, and Seebold's actually on Colton Mitchell's team. Now, it's not like we expect team tactics to rear its ugly head tonight, but you're right, Mark, we could definitely see it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's so much the team that those two riders are on, the art decals, right?
Yeah, Racecraft decals, yeah.
I think it's just more like a Team USA versus everyone else.
Yeah, and you're kind of right in the sense that Leclerc doesn't have too many friends on the track to begin with, and if it is a Team USA versus everybody else, obviously for France, they are quite late in the evening. Oh.
250 West, heat number 1, looks like already, unless, yeah, there we go. That was a quick warm-up lap.
Did they even leave the gate?
They did leave the gate, but 250 West is going to be up first. We're going to take 9 to the main. This is like a main event. You have to get in the top 9 in a main event to make it straight to the main here at the showdown.
All right, let's go racing in Las Vegas.
Gate is down. And Jake Worden with a good starter on the outside. Looks like he's going to be a nice wide first turn here, but then there's these split jumps coming out. Worden slips wide, and Zoe Cross goes to the lead, coming off a heat win just a week ago.
Yeah, crossed right across the line very easily into the race lead after sneaking down the inside of the first corner. Takes it from Brandon Hedge, Devin Ryan, Jake Worden right out there after his great near hole shot, and then Tyler Lewis able to squeak through. Ooh, we have a rider down. That's Lewis. Causes a bit of a hiccup in Thunder Alley.
Worden down with him. So Worden, after that good start, is on the ground. But Zoe Cross picking up right where he left off last week, almost came away with a main event win. Ended up 4th after cuts were in. Did get a heat race win, and he's out front again, getting some late season speed.
And Chris, as you mentioned, only 9 riders going through out of this rather short heat race, which is basically a compiled main event for all these West guys. A lot of the fast guys all thrown together. And I see early on Russ Chapman back here, the 1W, is trying to get going, just get inside of the top 9.
Right, and he's battling out with Sean Klein. Those guys were 11th and 12th. Chapman off the bike, Klein down in the turn.
Riders scatter around. And
our leader slides out in the sweeper. There's a lot of ruts already in that sweeper after one lap.
Everybody's actually sliding down.
In a road on that turn. It's a flat turn. We were talking a little before the race started. I have no idea what the road settings are actually on this track. And this is the first time these guys are seeing it as well.
Yeah, it looked like Janice and Yates both tucked the front end right behind your race leader Cross going down. Biting people early here in Las Vegas.
Hopefully we'll see it form up into an actual nice rut or berm that these guys can get through as the moto goes on. But it looks definitely really icy right now, as Dakota French holds down the last transfer spot in 9th. Jake Warden giving chase.
So we're actually missing our two top dogs in this West class. Sean Klein and Russ Chapman both outside of transfer. They just landed on each other, actually. Chapman quadding into the corner, landed on top of Klein, and they are still down together before the Supercross triple.
Yeah, I saw Isaiah Dickerson getting hung up with those guys way back in the pack as well. One of the fast guys in this field.
So these guys have their work cut out for them, working lap 3, 2.5 minutes into this 6-minute plus a 1-lap heat race.
There is special prizing up for grabs just for winning the showdown tonight, so keep that in mind too as these guys are racing. It's not just pride and bragging rights, but special prizing, even though the champions are already crowned. Give yourself a little end of season bonus. Watching the 7th place rider Matthias Janis battling out with Jake Warden, and Devin Ryan falls down, gets back up in that 9 spot, so he has the last transfer spot. Kevin Gonzalez wants it.
Looks like the line's kind of developing, tucking real tight on those insides through the sweeper. You can see a rut developing in and out of both sweeper and the back. I think we're going to see that.
Oh, pile up in the turn after that quad. That thing looks like it's going to wreak havoc on the 250 guys all night. Is about 5 guys had mistakes there.
Yeah,
Ryan goes from 9th to 4th.
Looks like we have some spotter problems here. This guy's still quadding into the corner despite a huge pileup, as you said. Maybe guys not getting some help from their teammates.
Zoa Cross just got helped down by Brandon Hedge over the finish line, too, in a very aggressive pass.
Oh, so that's going to change the lead, and there's riders still down. Looks like Cross just got together with, what is that back there? Janice maybe down. Cross actually going to go out of a transfer spot now from the lead.
Yeah, that was very costly.
Oh, that's going to be some rage-filled moments.
I can't imagine he's going to be happy with Brandon on that one.
But for Hedge,
great side.
Yeah, look at Cross getting around the inside of Dale Mullins. But for Hedge, worked out in the best spot it could for him, as he is now leading this race, and Mullins still battling it out here with Zoa Cross.
Just watching out that first turn, there's about 5 ruts in the corner. It's actually kind of cool. These guys battling over 10th and 11th, though. They need to put their heads down and try to get after Ash Deering and Tyler Lewis, who hold your last 2 transfer spots.
Looks like they are actually getting after each other a little bit. There's kind of a freight train going on, about 5th on back, stacking up a little
right
bit.
Up to that last transfer, jumped the quad, but then he slides out, leaving the corner, gives all that time right on back, and loses the spot to Cross.
And still Chapman, your champion, outside looking in.
Charles Gable to the lead. Devin Ryan goes for the block pass, washes the front end. Brandon Hedge going to go around him as well.
Little 3-rider battle for the front spot.
If you're one of these guys, Mark, does it feel like a main event win if you're able to capture this heat race win, knowing it's a full field?
No, it's still just a short race. I think time really wears out a guy with the amount of concentration you're putting into it.
Oh, Devin Ryan showing a wheel to Hedge.
That might play into the favor of Gable or Hedge. I'm pretty certain either of those guys have a main event win to their credit, and to be able to beat everyone in a race, the short time probably will help them not get so nervous.
Exactly, yes.
Oh, we got a slide out from Gable.
And Ryan almost lands on him, but gets by for second as well. Gable not able to clear the Supercross triple. Look at these guys swinging out. Devin Ryan swinging out of the bales across the start straight.
And we got Rush Chapman just moves into the final transfer spot right now in 9th. Made his way around Jake Warden going up to the triple, and the track's getting beat pretty fast. Chapman makes a mistake. Warden goes back by.
Speaking of getting beat, he just got kicked from that inside rut. You're definitely right that the track is breaking down awfully quick for about a 7-8 lap race here. 7 laps it will be total.
Is it me, or does this road look a little tighter than previous weeks? Much smaller ruts.
Definitely. I think it's eroding faster, and you can get, and it's also because the light decals, you can see it a little better, which allows it to form tighter as well.
Ooh, Ryder
These
down.
guys are hitting the same line.
Lewis off the track after the sand, and Dickerson goes through. So Lewis back to 11th, Dickerson now 10th, which puts Warden onto the final transfer spot. Let's peek back up front. Devin Ryan coming to the checkers here. A couple corners to go.
One last piece before he gets to the checkered about the tighter a road is what happens, though. It does start to feel chattery and makes it really slippery the tighter you go with it.
Here it is. Devin Ryan, Relaxa Tire Suzuki, takes heat number 1, the West Heat in Las Vegas. He's going to the main, as is Hedge. Janice Gable is down. Yeah, is he going to lose a spot to Eagland here? Not quite by the... Oh, no, he will. And
Oh, what a last corner.
Gable gets T-boned by Chapman and Crosshair coming through. There's Warden, Dickerson, and Lewis all going by. And Gable goes from 4th to 11th in the final corner. Outside of a transfer spot now, is going to the LCQ. Joining Dakota French, Dale Mullins, Sean Klein. Klein obviously a big marker in this one. Second in the championship standings. Clint Martin, Gonzalez, Hubbard, Yates, Garrett, and Deniz out of this one. Lots of guys rage quitting over the finish line. I think we have some unhappy campers. Yeah, Rush, I don't know why I don't have your skins. Maybe it's because nobody posts in the skins thread anymore. They message me on Discord, message me on Facebook, they PM me, they tweet me, they do everything but the skins thread, it seems.
I don't have his skins either, if it's any consolation.
Did you go to the skins thread?
Totally didn't.
that defeats the point.
I have no one's skins. So what do we got coming up here? 250. This is the 250 East Heat.
Yeah, this is going to be the East guys. So we should see Jack Haley and the rest of them lined up in this one.
Seems to be complaints of choppy ruts in the chat after the first heat race, which is what Chris had mentioned, that when you tighten up the road, it gets very choppy and hard to ride. It's very unpredictable. The bike just kind of chatters around underneath you, and before you know it, you're on your head.
Oh, looks like I timed out. Someone's saying they sent them to me on Discord. Again, literally 50 people send stuff to me on Discord every day, so I'm sorry if I missed it. That's why there's a skins thread. All right, here we go. 250 East Heat. Top 9 going out of this one. And Jack Haley all the way down the right side of your screen, but the gate is down. Haley with a pretty good jump. He might actually have the corner here. It's real tight. Pushes a couple guys out, and it will look like, yeah, Haley's going to get the whole shot. So Haley leads from Copeland. Isaac Wallen is right here. Noah Baker, Kyler Hockey, Devin Davis. And look, Devin Davis' skins, I have them. Why? Because they were in the skins thread. Oh my. Hockey, Phil Bull, Edward Mora, Craig Richards, Tyler Lang. Whoa! Lang putting Richards on the deck with Phil Bull. It's an Aussie little sandwich in the corner. Oh, and Richards gets pile drived.
think Phil Bull was having his own little party in that corner when all those guys arrived and made it much more interesting.
Up front, Haley's still looking strong. We got a battle for second. Isaac Wallen, Dylan Copeland, and Noah Baker are all right there. Ooh, it's like Baker down in the background. Wallen and Copeland kind of stalking each other. If you're in Copeland or Wallen's position here, Mark, you're battling for second in this heat race, is it still kind of a go for it mentality, or are you just trying to get yourself into the shootout tonight?
I still think you're just trying to make the shootout. You're just kind of rolling around, surviving. There's no points paid here. There's no points on the line, so obviously there's a little bit of pride and you want to push yourself so you're ready for the main event, but really you're just going through the motions.
Looks like Wallen actually is catching Jack Haley for the lead.
That it does.
He's going through the motions and then some. He wants to get Haley for this top spot, and he is going for it here.
I suppose in a way you're more willing to take chances because you have all the competition here, so normally as they get together,
yeah, Haley
normally in a heat race you have that attitude of it's no problem for me to get into this main event, or
right.
I don't need to stress as much.
Haley got a big kick on the over-under and almost kicked him into Wallen. Now Wallen's starting to fight back here. Oh, he's short on the quad and he's down. Not off the bike though. And lose a spot to Copeland. So Wallen gets going. Here's Devin Davis. He's in fourth. Tyler Lang on the 71 is right behind him. And the 413 of Baker also right there. So you got a little three-rider train for fourth here. Not too far off our lead battle, but just not quite to Isaac Wallen yet. It looks like Lang almost into the back of Devin Davis, who got kind of stood up on the top of the berm there. Oh, Lang down. Not off the bike either, so Phil Bull goes through. Here is Matt Burkeen, who did not get the start he was hoping for out of this one, but currently in a transfer spot. Whoa.
I'm disappointed in the track layout this week. No triples or just one triple.
Yeah, it's
to flip.
Well, in general, it seems like a rather bland Vegas. Like normally they kind of go all out, big long rhythm lanes, couple long sets of whoops. Like yes, this set of whoops is fairly long, but it's just the one.
Yeah, it's definitely stock. Very different on the decision on this one, I guess. Maybe hoping to keep the pack close, in case it did come down to a final race battle like last year. Could you imagine how much more intense that Supercross finale would have been with 10 riders in the row instead of 5?
Very true, very true. Maybe they were expecting something like that again this year, but statistics show not very often we go back-to-back years with title fights going to Vegas.
But we do have a title fight here in the 450 class, so that could play into our favor.
We do, and Kyler Hockey, who was just running in 11th and crashed, has rage quit.
He's not on a team, so he doesn't have much at stake here.
So Haley's still leading from Wallen. Copeland now receiving not any pressure. Lang is receiving all kinds of pressure. Devin Davis into him. They're all stopped in the corner before the whoops. No drive as Noah Baker and Burkeen come in from the background. None of them
is closing up on Ivan Medina for the final transfer position in 9th. Looks like this one's going to heat up as they should be coming. They got 2 laps left.
Yeah, looks like Haley just beat the line. You're right, Medina has Richards closing in. And really chaos going on in front of him. Actually, Burkeen is down, so that's going to shift it all up as Richards goes through. Now Burkeen has to fight his way in. Lang is down. Corner after the finish. He will get up behind Richards ahead of Burkeen still, so still in a transfer spot. So that battle that was kind of coming together ahead of our final transfer spot has diluted just a bit.
Nice battle for third with Devin Davis and Dylan Copeland going on right now as they come into the whoops.
And Phil Bull right there too on the 40, kind of lurking, waiting for something to happen between these two. White flag waves for Haley out front. Davis going outside to outside, Copeland inside to inside, so different lines down the rhythm lane. We'll see how this works out. And Davis able to get away a little bit. Oh, but he's down. Just lost the front wheel there, huh, Mark?
Yeah, that's a tough break. That on-off is very difficult coming into that corner. It's a big hop, and you tend to clip it, so it can always send you high up in the rut. The rut.
The rut.
Davis is back going in ninth. Burkeen right behind him. Davis actually going to pick up a spot over Richards. And we have a three-rider battle now for this last spot.
This is going to be a good one. Battle of some guys that I wouldn't say are the best friends.
I would not want to be Devin Davis right now.
Should be the last lap as well.
Yes, it is. Burkeen needs to get around one of these guys.
Coming to the line in the lead, taking the win. 57, Jack Haley.
Let's go back to this battle once more. Davis and Richards getting a little frosty.
Burkeen is not. It might come down to this quad right here.
Yeah, Richards tried to show it down the inside. Neither are going to quad. Burkeen is. And he gets put on the ground. I don't think there was contact, but Burkeen definitely threw it in there. Yeah.
Davis tried to give him room, it looked like, to keep it clean, but just not quite enough. Burkeen going to go to the LCQ.
Yeah, unless one of these guys go down in this last rhythm section, but they have all... Oh, Davis almost did the same thing that he did to crash the first time, and Baker is going to get the final transfer spot. Burkeen out.
Interesting note here that this heat went one lap longer than the first heat.
Haley has definitely been the guy to beat in this 250 division, showing that here 21-second win. Nice ride for Jack Haley, our newly crowned champion. Just a quick update. I was working with the admins during that heat race. We're going to lower the erode to 1.0 for the 450 heats. We normally run 1.5 for the heats. We're going to go and try to lower it down to try to get rid of some of the chop. It's obviously forming up kind of gnarly, and we're trying to provide the best racing that we can, so we're going to evaluate that, and then we'll go forward in the mains. And we also have a special announcement after the heat races. We're actually going to take a break from the racing action to make that happen.
So, Chris, while we go through the 450 Heat 1 lineup check, what is the testing process? What has it been like for a road week to week and kind of overall throughout the course of the season?
We had actually not a lot of time during the off-season to test because JLB was making so many road updates, and the main problem we were trying to get rid of was the kickers and the jump faces. So we came into the season with pretty generic road settings, not really allowing it to do too much so that it didn't cause issues. As the season got going on and where we had some time free up from, obviously we have to build a track each week, and we got ahead of schedule enough, we started doing some testing where we were getting 20-some guys in the server and pounding out main events. And that was our testing process, trying different settings, and trying to solve the issues that we were having as well, and get it to play into the gameplay a little bit more. Unfortunately, Stefan's life and schedule has been super busy, and that's why I said I don't know what's on this track, is because he wasn't able to be part of the testing process. Being that most of his rounds were early in the year, he didn't really have to be. But it looks like he's got the eroding really fast initially, and then it hits a hard base, which was actually what we've been doing for outdoors. We've been doing a ton of outdoor testing, about a race or two a night on that, but it's just not working out all that well here in Supercross with the smaller ruts.
All right, here we go. 450 Heat 1, yeah, lined up, and the first of our two championship combatants will be in this one. Alexis Leclerc down the far inside as the gate is down. See what he's able to do out of this one.
Only 14 riders on the gate. Small turnout here in the 450 class with that dual coast 250 class.
But look at Holm. Ooh.
Nice save right there.
So Leclerc gets the whole shot. Right behind him is Reed Young. 13 of Blakely. Holm right there on the 27. Blakely gets shot sideways across the track, landing on some tough blocks.
Blakely goes huge off the over-under and jumps past Adam Holm.
Wow, I didn't think jumping far on that thing was going to be the fast line, but look at Blakely already looking for a line on Reed Young.
These guys are able to get that quad much easier. Young, though, gets landed on by Blakely.
That's going to cause quite a few riders to go through. Puts Holm up to second. Actually, these guys might still get up and transfer. Wow, that was a crazily bad track reentry by Blakely. Chris Channing went down. I don't think that was Blakely that caused that. But up front. Go ahead, Mark.
Looked like he just came up a little short there.
Yeah, it looked like he already had the legs off before he even got into the corner, at least even in our screen. But up front, it is Leclerc on the 7, running the, strangely enough, gold plates this round. Talked to Ty Lynch,
Pretty
team
cool
manager.
look.
Yeah, it's a cool look for sure. I was giving Ty Lynch, the team manager for iLab.com, a little bit of flack for it this morning. I'm like, well, that's rather ominous. He's not the champion yet.
A little bit of confidence coming into the race for Alexis Leclerc. I want to keep an eye on the lap times in this heat and then compare them to Mr. Mitchell's. See what we're looking at setting up for the main event.
Jeremy Shipley settling in behind Adam Holm, then Ritzler, Billy Kunitz, Casey Ohlert, Gebhardt and Blakely side by side, then a good little freight train right here with Chris Channing in the final transfer spot. Down the inside goes Reed Young, puts him down, Blakely's down, so the 558 of Austin Bear goes through as well. Ooh.
Channing and Bear, that's the last transfer battle going on right now. I see a lot of different rhythms going on down that last rhythm section, which is cool to see.
Yeah, I think some of these guys have an idea of what they want to do down that rhythm, but they keep getting hitched up either by the inside rut, notching them weird or something. They end up off rhythm and then doing a completely different rhythm than what they expected.
Well, Blakely finds himself in the battle for the last transfer as well. He's going to go around Channing and go after Austin Bear, who has the spot. Blakely clearly has had the speed, but he has not been able to keep it on two wheels thus far in this heat race.
Jake West also trying to sneak in here. Oh, and Channing is going to go down, so West will go through. But Blakely's trying to get around Bear.
It is the number 9 spot. Bear has the spot that they want. Everyone is chasing the Bear.
Into the whoops. Blakely down the inside. Gets the spot and does so clean. Bear checks up high in the corner. Almost lost the front end, but keeps it on two wheels. And now he slides it out. So here comes Channing.
While you're watching that battle, I just peeked up front. Leclerc has stretched out a 6-second lead over Adam Holm, who's been very fast here late in the year. So if that tells you anything about the pace that Leclerc is running out front, we're logging a 104.9 fast lap thus far, looking really good.
Yeah, Leclerc's solid as a rock through the whoops. We'll go on board with him here for just a minute so we can kind of see what his lines are like.
Same traction each week here in Supercross for us, but this decal is a lot less contrast in it, and it always makes it feel more slippery when that happens. Leclerc using a higher gear everywhere seems to be combating that quite well. Also, maybe the chatter from the erode making it slippery, and I think that being in a higher gear a lot is going to help him considerably throughout the night.
I think another thing to consider here is this is still Colton Mitchell's rookie year on a 450, while as Leclerc, I mean, he's been racing 450s pretty much his whole career.
Epic line through that sand, and he's been airing this thing out with a 6 scrub. Doesn't do the scrub this time, still airing it out over that over-under, and that was a 104.2 last time around for Leclerc, by the way, so he dropped the lap time even more, up to 8 seconds out over Adam Holm.
It amazes
He's
me.
absolutely on fire tonight.
He can land a flat off that tunnel jump on the gas, which is amazing to me.
That as well. I think that it's definitely looking like the main event's going to come down to the first corner and first straightaway.
See Leclerc here doubling in from the inside. It's a pretty good
Absolutely.
line.
I think I saw Holm doing that as well. Only a couple of guys being able to pull that off, though. And as the rut forms, it's probably going to get more difficult. 105.0 that time around for Leclerc. Holm logs a 106.7, so he lost 1.7 seconds, close to 2 seconds. Just one lap. Leclerc on fire, and that wasn't even his fastest lap.
Boy, at the moment, it looks like Leclerc is going to make this thing kind of look easy tonight. Never know with the road, but whew, he looks good.
If you're Colton Mitchell, are you watching Leclerc and learning, or are you out burning laps trying to get used to the road on the racetrack for your heat race?
That's a good question. If I were Mitchell right now, I would be burning laps, but I would be learning how to ride the track a gear higher than what I think I should be in, because obviously it seems to be working for Leclerc. Like you said, the slickness tonight, the speeds are up, so obviously they need to get that bite, get that traction.
Leclerc switches the lineup there and actually goes wide and jumps a 3 in. I guess maybe Mitchell's doing a little of both. Maybe he's chasing Leclerc around in warm-up mode.
Yeah, it's possible as well.
Learn his lines at the same time, see how your pace is, get used to the track all at once. This heat race all but over for the win. Leclerc runs out front. Adam Holman second. Salty Walty Gebhardt runs in third, 22 seconds back from second. If that tells you how fast that Holmes going, even though he cannot keep pace with Leclerc. Reed Young, big line. Barb running in the number 4 spot with Chase Blakely all the way up to 5th, giving chase. So Blakely, who was outside of transfer position not long ago, is charging forward. Then we find Shipley in 6th. Casey Ohlert runs in 7th. Sabrina Ritzler, Team Whip Style, runs in the number 8 spot. And Billy Kunitz right now rounds out your 9th and final transfer with Jake West running the wrong number, giving chase. I don't believe he is number 11.
He's number 133. So I don't see his number. I just see the number on his back. But it's a shame he's running the wrong number. That could be a penalty. Boy, Leclerc almost lapped that group as he's going to take the win in this heat.
Oh, Shipley has gone down. He's in 9th. There goes Jake West on by into the last transfer. Shipley's going to have to get up and make some magic happen with half a lap to go.
Oh, he's got to watch out.
Make it up.
Almost got landed on by Zaworski. So now it is West in the bubble spot. Ritzler's actually giving Kunitz a little bit of fits here. They could come together, and this could change things up a little bit.
We've seen this quad get sketchy. Not quite as bad
There's
for
no way
these
he's going for
450s.
Yeah, West goes on-off
Zaworski
route.
just wheelied half those whoops. He is laying it down right now. Maybe it's just the power of a 4-stroke that he's not used to.
So West through the final section. Ritzler also clean through, and it looks like that will complete your top 9. Jake West to the main event in the 450 class.
Zaworski chanting Shipley Bear to the LCQ. All right, we got one more heat race coming on up. We're going to see the other half of the title fight. Again, this 450 championship coming in here. Winner take all. Between Alexis Leclerc, who just dominated heat number 1, and Colton Mitchell, who we're going to see here in heat 2.
All right, just an update. ART Racecraft, guys. I got the Vegas pack.
Thanks, Kellen. Thank you.
I just figured they would freak out if I didn't do it tonight. So
Kellen Web Browser going above and beyond.
But I should correct myself. It's in my personal folder. I just have to close the game out first. So actually, if I load in time, I might do it in this one real quick.
You got a warm-up race. You should start yet.
Bam.
While you're doing that, I will give a quick rundown here. Spencer Turley, Johan Mayer, Kevin Frizaka, Jeremy Cohenauer, Peter Like, Bryce Whelan, Brock Pearson, Dylan Gatlin, Logan Heagney, Robert Wilson, Kevin Frizaka, Ethan Parks, Colton Mitchell, Eduardo Simos, Tyson Fresca sitting on the gate. Hopefully he's actually here. This might be the last time he runs the number one. He's running some stock rider gear. Looking fresh on the starting gate. Hopefully he's still here for the race and running that. Dun, 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 dun. So if you're Colton Mitchell, I mean, I guess your goal is to go out and win the heat as well and try to make a statement just like Leclerc did?
I mean, I'd gotta imagine so, because you want to line up next to him in the heat even, right? Or in the main.
I guess. I don't know. I don't think I would want to line up next to Leclerc because he gets such good jumps out of the gate that you're almost guaranteed to get shut off immediately out of the gate. I would want to get away from him. And, you know, he picked gate number 1 in that heat race, so you have to assume he's going to do the same thing in the main event. So if I'm Mitchell, I'm going to at least gate 5 or 6, get away from him a little bit, carry a little better angle into turn number 1. But I'm also not a former champion, so I'm going to go with whatever Mark Zeidler says to do.
No, I was going to say that I agree with you. I wouldn't want to be right next to Leclerc on a start. He gets such a good initial launch. And even if you're quicker through the gears, he's already got a wheel on you, and you're just taking the chance of getting your front wheel touched.
I'm trying to remember, Mark, when you locked up your title, the shootout wasn't for points, right?
No, it was done by then.
Yeah. Well, I know. I'm pretty sure I knew you wrapped up the title early, but I couldn't remember if Vegas was around or if it's just a showdown.
Yeah, it was just shootout.
All right, we are. What are we waiting on? Somebody getting in?
Sure here. I guess I can look at chat.
Every other lineup check has been about 10 seconds long.
Oh, there we go.
Maybe the host fell asleep.
Give a shout out to our host, Damon Tabella. This is his first year doing a lot of hosting here for the MXS EMF crew, and he's doing a great job.
He's definitely had to take on an extra load of the what they erode as far as the managing stuff goes.
And Mark, you're a poet and you don't even know it.
Just a lot of complaining, but we're about to drop the gate here. Heat number 2, final heat race of the night here in Las Vegas, and it looks like Jeremy Cohenauer with the whole shot. Great start. Tyson Fresquez is here, pushes wide in turn number 1. He's going to drop from 2nd all the way to about 6th, it looks like, but Cohenauer's gone already. Yeah, I was taking a look at Mitchell on that start, and he got off the gate good, but he just does not seem to have the straight line speed into the first corner, which Leclerc excels at. I'd expect Leclerc to get a good start tonight, but as you said, Cohenauer leads from Pearson, Turley, light goes down, so Mitchell goes through. All pretty clean early on here. I'm a little bit of a poet myself, and I would like to see the number 1 go out on top here in Vegas with a win before surrendering that number 1 plate to someone else next year. Wishful thinking, perhaps, but never know when Tyson's going to pull one out of his hat. Yeah, Tyson, the winningest Supercross rider in the game's history, has had 0 wins this year. It has been a dismal season for him. It's flipped past there as Robert Wilson goes down. And some contact between other riders in the final corner. Something about Vegas, it always breaks out the gold kits, as Jeremy Cohenauer running a gold and black 7 setup here. Closely followed by Pearson, and then the all gold and black bike for Colton Mitchell. Seems like Mitchell's bike and Cohenauer's gear would go pretty well together. So it's Cohenauer, Pearson, and Mitchell all running close together, and it looks like Mitchell's actually starting to close these 3 down a little bit. We'll go on board with the 6. He's kind of tire tapping into that rhythm, not doubling over it. Maybe he was going to and didn't get the run at it. Well,
105.8. We saw Leclerc doing low 104s. Down the inside goes Mitchell on Pearson. Pushes him out on the start straight, and yeah, he got him. I know as a track builder, Chris, it's a little bit frustrating sometimes to have to deal with what the track maps give you, because you obviously just built it off of the replica base, but what in the world were they thinking with those rollers in the first corner?
I think they're probably trying to open it up a little bit, I guess, but you know, it's funny, I think this track's pretty terrible for sim, but I actually think it might actually be pretty good for real life, because Vegas is known to have those really slippery corners, and the long straightaways typically will allow you to get up alongside someone and make a pass, because you can't do a lot of passing in the corner. You try to go low, you get in the marbles and just wash your front end out. So
Yeah.
I think IRL, it should actually be a pretty good track. Just in MXS, it's not all that exciting.
Right, change for the lead as Mitchell quads past Kohenauer and hangs on. So the 6 of Mitchell to the front, and just as we had talked about prior to this race, Mitchell wanting to get out front and get away, get at the very least second gate pick. Judging by Leclerc's total race time in that first one, I'd gotta imagine he's gonna have the first gate pick in the main event tonight.
Yeah, he's definitely at quite a deficit after 2 laps already.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious with a clear track now what Mitchell's going to be able to lay down. We saw Alexis Leclerc bust out a 104.2, and he ran multiple 104s. And right now, so far, the best for Mitchell. It's only a 105.8, but he does have a clear track, so let's see if he's able to pick up the pace. But also, come main event time, it's not going to be so much just fast laps. Oh, Mitchell almost goes down. It's going to be that consistency and staying out of trouble. I think that's the name of the game if you're the number 7 of Alexis Leclerc. Mitchell, I think his is more, he needs to start with Leclerc, who's been nailing the starts week in and week out.
Yeah, I would say one of Leclerc's benefits this week, as opposed to some of the races we've had recently, is that this is one of the longer tracks of the year. So I would have to imagine lap traffic isn't going to be as much of a problem as, say, last week when they were doing 50-second lap times.
Without a doubt, but there is quite a bit of speed gap between guys.
That's true, too.
I'm noticing as well, so that might kind of make up for it a little bit. And honestly, for Vegas, it's a fairly short lap time with a, you know, like I said, Leclerc all the way in the 104s. Still definitely is shorter. And I think the other benefit, though, is the longer start straight. Leclerc typically gets out of the gate good. It'll allow guys to separate a little more before getting into the first turn, causing less carnage with this big, wide first turn, and should help him out.
Looking back a little further, we find Spencer Turley behind Brock Pearson, then Peter Leicht battling it out with Kevin Frizaka. So all these guys are in transfer spot, then Robert Wilson and Dylan Gatlin. These guys in the whoops right now, and Wilson's gonna go down onto the on-off. He is in 8th. He will get up right as Eduardo Simos comes into the corner. So 8th and 9th now right with each other. Tyson Fresquez hoping they get together, as does Bryce Whelan. And Bryce Whelan's been on the same team all year, but I'm pretty sure that's the 4th different bike brand he's been on. Ooh, Simos looking frosty down the inside of Wilson, both in transfer spots, so doesn't need to get him, but would help his case maybe. Both of them working on each other out of Thunder Alley. Wilson defensive. Simos trying to do some cutbacks, maybe get a drive on him somewhere. How about right here before the whoops as he goes down the inside? Ooh, and he gets into the back of him and he's down. And Wilson goes off the track. Wow, and Simos gets up still ahead of Fresquez, so more than a 10-second gap from 9th to 10th. Fresquez is now coming.
While you guys were away, Colton Mitchell had a crash after the finish line. Crashed out of the lead, back to third behind Brock Pearson and Jeremy Kohenauer.
Yeah, we have a battle for the win going on. Kohenauer and Pearson. Look at Pearson going inside into the whoops and a crossover. He takes the spot and holds on to the lead into the corner. So has Kohenauer got a fight back in him? Will Mitchell maybe squeak by here at the end? What's going to happen? Oh, look at Mitchell down the inside. Gets by him, and he's going to triple on here. Does he get a good enough drive? Oh, he cases it. And Brock Pearson is going to win 450 heat number 2. Mitchell right behind him in second. Turley, who had moved into third, is down in the last corner. But he will still... Nope, Kohenauer parks him for third. Then it's Verzaka 5, Gatlin 6, Like 7th. Wilson almost getting into Pearson, who is riding backwards on the track, in 8th. And Simos is 9th. And barring a crash, looks like he will stay there. So through the final section, into the final corner, and Eduardo Simos going to the main event in Las Vegas. It's going to take Fresquez the LCQ if he even makes it into tonight's main event. Same with Whelan, Parks, Fowler, Heagney, and Johan Mayer.
Well, hopefully with any luck, Tyson can get that win that Chris was hoping for in the LCQ.
Without a doubt. So we're going to take a quick break from the racing action. We have a little special surprise coming. We're going to wait a second to get everyone from the server in here.
I'm going to wait just for them to confirm the results and then load into one of the developers sitting in single player, and we'll show you guys something special. Brock Pearson, beautifully perched on top of the podium. Lovely. Hey, while we're taking a quick break here real quick, just want to give a big shout out to MotoOption Clothing, proud sponsor for the 7th year running of the MotoOption Supercross series. Great season, another one in the books after tonight. Can't thank those guys enough. But we're going to go ahead and show you guys something real special here. So sit back and enjoy this one. Armstrong does have some room to work with. They're going to go side by side of Hill.
Mullins is working that inside before the finish as well, though.
Look at that line from Mullins around the outside.
The battle for third. Gebhardt just gets jumped over by Sidehawk.
Shibley wheeling up the hill right there behind Carlin. So bad. Look at Mullins wheeling to the outside. 23 of Rob ahead of the 1 of Mullins and the 3 of Fjellberg all together. Breakthrough ride of the year. A 2-1 performance on the day. Adam Holm is your winner. All right, I hope that revved you guys up. We have the Nationals coming up. And Chris, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Jeez, I had the stream actually unmuted, was watching it. Thank you, by the way, to Mr. Jeremy Kohenauer for busting out that video. He's one of the many people joining the team for Nationals. We're here on the North American stream, so it is the 2018 Racetech MXS EMF North American Nationals sanctioned by Race Factory Gaming. That's right, RF's kind of back with the MXS EMF crew. Obviously, they've already been here as track hosts, but they're going to be the sanctioning body. So you'll be able to read more about that in the official release about to get posted on the forums after the racing tonight. A few things, though, that are coming that are really cool that I want to touch on real fast are there's a 125 open class coming Sunday nights and it's open to all racers, whether you're a pro, amateur. You can ride it as a second class throughout the season. And also, we'll have Peter Like managing all the rulings as the RF sanctioning body. And for the first time ever for the North American National Series, we're paying out BROPS, which is can be converted to cash money in all the classes. So a percentage of all the proceeds from the memberships will be paid out as prizing. So keep your eye on that. And then Racetech providing prizing for the amateur divisions. But the pro is going to be racing for cash money. Oh, yeah, that's right. Upping the ante. Once again, mxsemf.com will be where to get the info on that. And, of course, the thread going on the forums.
Oh, the great outdoors. I can't wait. You get to a certain point in the year where Supercross just gets a little stale. And with the road coming in this year, the outdoors are going to be really special. You guys will not want to miss all of that high-intensity action. Obviously, like Chris said with the details there, head over to mxsemf.com to get any further information on the Nationals itself. They should have already dropped. If it hasn't, you guys can check within the next hour or so. Did they drop it already, Chris?
I just threw the thread on the forums as I was talking.
Cool. So there you go. Forum.mxsimulator.com under racing. We should have that thread up to discuss all the Nationals details. You guys can check that out. And then mxsemf.com is going to be the place to see what's going on with those Open Series, the Pro Nationals, and Mark opening a beer at the same time. It's all good.
If Nationals is your favorite thing, Kellen, you know what my favorite thing is? Last chance qualifiers.
Oh, baby. Final LCQs of the year. Although, I guess, we have the consies, right? Outdoors, so those could be good, too. But indoors, final LCQs of the year coming up. 250 combined LCQ will be first. This will be the East and West classes combined. 22 riders, 4 spots. I know you're pumped,
Clint
Chris.
Martin, Alex Cunningham, Tyler Lewis, Charles Gable, Cody Yates, Daniel Bachelet, Dakota French, Owen Hillman, Jack Gatland, Edward Mora, Sean Klein, Dale Mullins, Andrew Massart, Matt Burkeen, Seth Garrett, Garrett Olver, Kevin Gonzalez, Caden Speck, Jake Fisher, and Jacob Hubbard round out your field. A lot of those guys have had some great performances in main events this year, and we're on the line for an LCQ with them right now.
Revs are up for these guys. Well, they're going to have a parade lap first. I want to, while they're doing a parade lap, give a huge thank you to all of our live viewers, not only tonight, but all this season. You guys have made this very enjoyable. The chat has been unreal. The first time we've simulcasted MX Simulator broadcasts on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And I just actually noticed that while we were doing that Nationals promo video, we had 365 live viewers, which is a new record for live viewers watching SYS TV at once. So thank you guys for all the support this year. And yeah, Nationals coming up. Going to be fun stuff.
This main event better deliver with record number of viewers tuning in to see it.
Yeah.
No pressure, guys. No pressure.
All right. 4 minutes plus a lap. On the gate is your 250 LCQ, the last one, and some big names in this one. Sean Klein, Matt Burkeen, just to name a couple. Only 4 minutes. And let's see who's going to go through to the main event in Las Vegas as the gate is down. Land rush down to the first corner.
Down the start, I saw Burkeen went from a terrible start to bike humping to down in turn number 1. Things not looking good for the number 8, but Clint Martin has a clear track and is ready to set out front. Andrew Massart, Caden Speck, and Jake Fisher round out your 4 spots into Thunder Alley.
Jake Fisher is there, but boy, oh boy, does he have a train behind him. Jacob Hubbard is included with Cody Yates, 35 T. Lou, Tyler Lewis down the inside, Dakota French right there with Seth Garrett.
There comes Sean Klein. He is in 10th. He's got a lot of spots to make up in a short amount of time to do it. One-time title contender. Now just trying to fight his way into the main event for the showdown.
Not only that, he finished on the podium on a 450 this year, did Klein, so he doesn't want to miss out on this showdown as Burkeen goes down in the background trying to get around. That was Gable, I think, that was on the ground.
Battle for the last transfer right now is Jake Fisher and Tyler Lewis.
Gotta say, I like Jake Fisher's setup. Rocky Mountain ATV MC ride right there. Little blue and white Husky, blue and white Fox here. Looks real clean.
you just call him Husky?
No, the bike.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were making a fat joke.
Massart off the track in the Thunder Alley might get some cuts from that. Has Caden Speck closing up, then Fisher and Lewis are both right there. This is actually quickly turning into a battle for second.
Interesting, the 250 guys not skying out that over-under jump where the 450s were sending it off of it. Not sure if it's because they can't accelerate again as fast and they need to run down the backside, or if something else going on. As we had a rider down.
Yeah, that's Speck,
Two
and
riders
Massart
down.
into him. Lewis is also down there. Here goes French around the outside, and Klein almost jumps into everybody in the background.
So Lewis went into the corner in 5th, comes out in 5th. Dakota French, the benefactor, goes up into the number 4 spot. Cross jump Carl over the top of Lewis. Bar to bar they go.
Lewis has to back out of the challenge, can't get the triple onto the table, so relinquishes the spot to French. Oh, and I see Klein is actually down in the final corner. Look at Lewis, he puts French on the deck.
That was a really actually pretty clean pass. I think that French just lost his front end in the slippery no berm there on that inside line. Beautiful move for T-Lou.
So French is going to try to regroup and go after him.
Massart off the track again going into Thunder Alley. Jumped out of the sand, missed that corner. Not looking good for him. I think the cuts are going to catch up to him. Clint Martin dominating out front right now, nailing the quad into the 180. 7-second lead for him. Nice and comfy as long as he keeps it on 2 wheels. But then it's Fisher, Massart, Lewis with Dakota French giving chase.
Ooh, Speck into the back of French, almost went down. What a train of riders right here. Has the makings to all end in tears for some of these guys. Look at Massart. Goes through on Fisher. That's going to put him up to second. Now Lewis has French still very slowly closing in, and Lewis jumps off the track. French almost paid him back, and Fisher is on the deck. So French into your final transfer spot now, and Fisher has to rebound. Whoa! Ryder coming from the other direction.
That
He
quad
just-
caused all kinds of havoc in the corner
Yeah.
after it, but that one actually got the guys that were coming around almost a lap ahead.
Fisher none too happy about it. Has to work his way around Speck to get back into 5th even. Edward Mora is right there on the 26 as well.
About a lap and a half to go for these guys as the clock has ticked 4 minutes, so it will be a white flag.
Ooh, Lewis out of shape at the end of the whoops, and here comes French almost quadding onto his back. This battle is 12 seconds behind race leader Clint Martin, who is about to click onto the final lap of the race. There he goes.
Guy on the move right now is Edward Mora. He's moved up to 5th. As just as I say that, Caden Speck absolutely annihilates him leaving the corner. So now it's just Jake Fisher in the 5 spot all by himself, trying to get after Dakota French. And I saw right behind him Charles Gable, who we saw fall out of a transfer spot from 4th all the way out in that last turn of his heat race.
So far we don't have that final transfer spot battle that I think you were hoping for, Chris, but things still have the potential to get real wild here. French is right on Tyler Lewis, and he doesn't need to be that close. One small mistake from Lewis, and they're both down.
I think no one wants to be sitting into that 4th spot here late in the race, as anything can happen. And we know Jake Fisher, nothing to lose. He is just trying to lay it down back there to get as close as he can.
French
Remember
plays
the
it
cut
safe,
from-
and he's
Oh,
down. Oh, but Fisher's down too. Here comes Speck. Race winner is Clint Martin. Here comes Speck, almost into French.
Got him.
More riders down in the background, and French is still having troubles getting going as Speck is through. Lewis and Massart are through into the main, and Speck has to get through the final rhythm clean. A little short, but he is gonna do it. Caden Speck goes to the main event. Dakota French playing it safe at the end of the whoops, going on-off, ends up going up and over the bars into the corner, and he is out of the main event in Vegas.
Those on-offs are killer on this track tonight.
It seems like they clip that single out and it just sends them into oblivion.
The unpredictability of a 250 last chance qualifier, it always makes for some excitement.
Wow. So with French, Burkeen, Fisher, Gable, Mora, Gatland, Gonzalez, Oliver, Hubbard, Hillman, Klein, Mullins, Yates, Batchelet, Cunningham, Garrett, all those riders have now ended their 2018 Supercross season.
They're going to go crack a cool water up in the stands, I'm sure, and watch these finals. But we got one more LCQ up for grabs. Not going to be that many guys on the line in this 450 LCQ, so it should be pretty exciting to see the battle for the last transfer. There's not going to be a lot of chaos. It's going to be the fastest guy going to get in. Looks like 10 riders on the line. One of them, of course, Tyson Fresquez. We also have Bryce Whelan, Chris Channing, Jeremy Shipley, Logan Heagney, Nathan Zaworski, Ethan Parks, Jack Fowler, Johan Mayer, and Austin Baer. So quite a few heavy hitters still in this LCQ. Matching gear going on here for Mr. Fresquez as well as...
Yeah, are they running the default 2 gear?
Yeah, yep.
That's what it's all
Fresquez
about.
not leaving the gate again. It's like Austin Baer as well. Or no, it's Higgs is actually the other one in the default gear with Fresquez. Looking like teammates out there.
I know that, I think you can maybe attest to this, Chris, but I think it was Penwell that says he actually likes
stock models?
Yeah, riding stock models
Yep.
better. Maybe
Yep.
that's what Fresquez is doing these days, huh? He just likes the stock models better.
Yeah, Penwell actually won a national. He used to be on teams and just replace his own skins with a stock model. Quite interesting.
All right, well, the night will end here for 6 more riders. 4 of them will go through to the main event, and we are about to find out who, as you mentioned, several heavy hitters on the gate here. And the final LCQ of the season is underway in Las Vegas. Great start from Mayer. He's going to try to drag race him into the corner, but it's actually Whelan on the 18 who will beat him there.
Pile up causes Chris Channing and Logan Heagney to hit the deck.
So it's Whelan from Shipley right at the front. Then Mayer comes out third. Fowler, Fresquez.
Oh, Shipley's down.
Ooh, Shipley almost into our camera. And he is going to go to just about dead last. He's getting up right in front of those guys that were down on the start. Oh, and he almost gets into Chris Channing. Get all the shuffling going on here as Whelan leads the way. Mayer now second, Fowler third, and Fresquez is down. He's down. He got together with Ethan Parks. So again, that shuffles the order.
Austin Baer back in the last transfer spot. Well, he was, but there goes Nate Zaworski.
Oh!
Plowed by Baer. And Ethan Triptez Parks moves into the 4th spot now.
Boy, oh boy, Austin Baer.
Shipley back up and running now, sits 5th. 1 spot out as Stanley Steamer leads the way, but keep an eye on this last transfer. That's where the action's going to be. When you're in the LCQ, you know your gate pick's going to be terrible. You just want to make sure you're in that top 4. Shipley bike humped over the finish line. I guess maybe just pumped that he has a shot at the main still after that first lap crash.
Maybe, huh? Ooh, Fresquez gets together with Austin Baer on the straightaway. That was rather strange. Allows Zaworski to go back through. Wonder if Zaworski will do some payback.
A lot of excitement focused around Austin Baer in this LCQ so far.
He's got a magnet on him.
Oh, Shipley's going to go down again. He got into the back. Ethan Parks over the over-under. So Austin Baer is going to move up into the 5 spot.
It's never
Parks,
over.
He brake checked him in the air. Just said, yeah, he's coming up behind me. I'm just going to brake check him, take him out.
Totally. So now there's a pretty good group of guys still wanting to get in, and Ethan Parks is on the bubble. He's trying to get to Fowler, who just made a huge mistake. Ooh, and he's still...
without any significant ruts on the track, Stanley Steamer, Bryce Whelan just laid a 105.2 down.
Wow.
And keep in mind, Leclerc was a 104.2, but that was, broke-in track where the berms had really rutted up and such. So throwing down some fast laps, never difficult for Bryce Whelan. It's just putting it together. Sometimes it clicks for him in his longer races, and we've seen him run up front. But
Johan Mayer in second right now. This will be his first main event, not only this season, but I believe in a couple years. EMF president.
yeah,
Getting it
interesting. We were
done.
talking about doing that national announcement. He said, I need you to handle posting the thread. I need to focus. I want to make the main, and I'm going to be in the LCQ. So this was before the heat race. Well, he knew he was going to be in the LCQ, and he knew he wants to make the main. He's obviously taking it somewhat seriously. And now he's got the commentator curse going on, makes a mistake. Here comes Jack Fowler, going to be up right behind him. They're running the 2-3 spots. Fowler's down. Here goes Ethan Parks by, and Fowler narrowly misses getting plowed by, guess who? Austin Bear, the man that the drama surrounding him. I saw Fresquez just went tumbling all the way across the first turn over the berm, re-enters, does a front flip back onto the track after he backflipped off of it and somehow didn't ever fall off the bike.
Jeremy Shipley trying to get to the back wheel right now of Austin Baird. Neither of those guys in transfer spot.
Looks like he's going for the front wheel, not the back wheel. He dives inside going into the turn.
Now Austin Baird is going to have to try to fight back, but he's losing some time. Shipley wants to go after Fowler here. 17-second lead for Bryce Whelan.
The 4-minute mark just about to click. So we're going to get a white flag when Whelan comes around. And I can tell you, if I'm Johan Mayer, that's not coming fast enough because he has Jack Fowler breathing down on him in a very fast Jeremy Shipley coming all the way up as well.
Yeah, Shipley looks like he is just taking tenths of a second in the handfuls here away from Fowler. Great drive in the whoops. Gets the quad. Nope.
He's down.
Came up short. Austin Bear goes back through. Is anybody else going to get him? Maybe Zaworski as Shipley just gets going before him.
Johan Mayer and Jack Fowler down after the triple.
Yeah, so that allows Bear through into third. That puts Fowler still on the final transfer spot. Meanwhile, Bryce Whelan is gone. Ethan Parks is second. Then Bear and Fowler. Next in line would be Shipley. Oh my! Jack Fowler sends it down the inside of Bear for third, and it allows Shipley to get right up behind him.
Oh, Bear's got to be coming for revenge, right?
Final lap of the race. Only 4 go through.
Shipley around the outside
here.
Look at, he's going to stay low. Let's see if he gets a drive. He is going to get around him, and he swings across.
Oh, Bear aggressive, but not too aggressive as they roll up onto the back wheel of
Fowler.
Oh,
Shipley into the back of Fowler again.
It ain't over yet, though. Austin
Not
Bear still
over.
got to be looking for revenge on Fowler.
There's a train of riders, including Zaworski and Johan Mayer, trailing up behind him as Bryce Whelan takes the win. Does Austin Bear want revenge? Look at 3 riders in the background coming into the whoops. And they send it into the corner. A bit of a mistake from Fowler. Oh, my goodness. And Mayer and Zaworski both up and over the berm. So it's only Shipley that could get by now. Does Bear take the revenge? Let's see. He tries down the inside. No, but here comes Shipley. Final corner. He's going to get him. Bear down the inside.
Take it off.
Oh, my. Shipley takes it into the main event. And Bear.
He clipped that on off so bad. How did he ride that out? Oh.
Wow. So Austin Bears, Nate Zaworski, Tyson Fresquez, Logan Higney, Johan Mayer are going to be joining the after party a little early on the Vegas Strip. While we're going main event racing, it's almost time to decide the showdown in the 250 class from Las Vegas.
All the camera work you did in that LCQ, Kellen, all you had to do is leave the camera on Austin Bear the whole time.
I should have. Oh, I mean, I did into the final corner, but I should have been watching Shipley there. Wow. What the heck was that? Like, what is Jack Fowler doing? It's for third, and they're like 5 seconds ahead of Shipley.
He totally lucked into it. I really don't know. Maybe Austin got him earlier in the race. I'm not sure.
Man, weird stuff here. Well, but the main events are coming up, and it only gets weirder from here, I think.
All right, well, it's going to be main event time. And that means we got to build these things. And then I guess we got to pick the versuspc.com one to watch.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do a little riding around the track, show you guys a third-person perspective of this track.
This is what not to do, ladies and gentlemen.
Basically, yeah.
Is that baseball gear that you're wearing?
No, it's the 98 Fox stuff. the McGrath wore.
Oh, okay. That's why it's got like the squared up numbers and stuff. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I was just checking it out. It looked like the back of a baseball jersey a little bit. And I know you're a baseball fan. I believe you're a Padres fan, eh?
I am. It's painful, but it is true.
I live in Minnesota. All my sports teams are full of disappointment.
Hey, the Twins have a World Series. You can't say that.
Yeah, I think that was before I was born, Kellen.
91? I think
Okay,
you're born.
okay. I was born. I just didn't watch sports then. A lot of people in this server racing right now were not born in 91, which makes me feel really old, but that's okay.
I promise you guys in chat who are saying this is a baseball jersey, literally just go look at any picture of Jeremy McGrath from 1998. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah,
Same
I'm kind of
numbers and
disappointed
style
that I
too.
didn't even freaking recognize that because, I mean, he is Showtime. The king.
The king.
The super goat. Supercross goat. All right. So on the line, we have Brandon Hedge, Devin Davis, Andrew Massart, Ash Deering, Clinton Martin, Tyler Lewis, Matthias Janis, Ivan Medina, Isaiah Dickerson, Colby Eagland, Tyler Lang, Phil Bull, Craig Richards, Dylan Copeland, Zoe Cross, Jake Warden, Jack Haley, Devin Ryan, Rush Chapman, Noah Baker, Caden Speck, Isaac Wallen. Rounding out your field, those 22 guys are the best in the 250 division this tonight in Vegas. And the versuspc.com one to watch. Well, you know, we're talking about the whole Austin Bear situation, and you follow him around, and no matter what, you're going to find action. I feel like that's always the same thing. The number 15 DX3 rider Devin Davis. So he's going to be our versuspc.com one to watch. Mr. Devin Davis.
Good luck catching a glimpse of him while he's under a DDoS.
Oh.
Let's hope not.
Yes, let's hope not.
Austin Bear, the subject of the 450 LCQ chaos, is actually in Twitch chat right now.
Well, hello, Austin. Thanks for the entertainment. Much appreciated.
That's one way to get a lot of TV time is get yourself near a last transfer battle all night long in both the Heat and the LCQ. You'll get a lot of coverage because
Heck
we
yeah.
love watching those last transfers.
All right. It's a showdown of the champs, and Haley isn't even running the 1W. He's running the 57. He's just rocking it all the way home. Or the 1E, I should say. The 1W is Chapman.
Yeah, so Chapman versus Haley. Who do you guys got real quick before the gate drops, or do you have a wild card?
I like Haley after that heat race, man. He killed him.
It's tough to bet against Haley, but I'm going to go Chapman just to be different.
I'm going to tie break it up with Haley, so...
All right, here we go. The 250 East-West Showdown from Las Vegas is underway.
Gate is down, and Haley has a ridiculously good jump out of the inside. Dickerson coming around the outside, but even outside of him was Clint Martin coming out of the LCQ, but he drifts wide, gets cleaned out, so Martin is on the ground. Jack Haley out front, Isaiah Dickerson right there, Isaac Wallen and Devin Ryan giving chase.
Yeah, and Russ Chapman is right there on the 1 as well. He's in about 6th spot, so he is in contention early on as well as everybody kind of sorts themselves out. It looks like Dickerson actually wants a piece of Haley for the lead.
Running .75 a road here. Lower setting here for the main event, trying to keep the track good for these guys. Mistake from Dickerson. Somehow he saved that.
What a save.
Actually made up time doing it, too.
Both of them scrub down the triple. Haley leads the way. Man, Dickerson is just right behind him.
Has been riding a lot of outdoors recently, but I guess just playing and getting used to your bike and everything is paying off for him. Maybe all these flat corners and stuff, and fast sections also helping riding the national stuff. Haley as well. Both those guys have been riding a lot of nationals this week. Dickerson slides out. Here comes Isaac Wallen and Noah Baker.
Chapman went down the inside of Devin Ryan. They bumped, and Ryan actually bunny hopped.
Yeah, that's all he was riding his front wheel. Somehow saves it. Good starts for Tyler Lang, Phil Bull as well. They're battling with Devin Ryan.
Woo!
Wow. Yeah, Phil Bull almost gets a whole lot of the back wheel of Devin Ryan as Ryan makes the move back around him.
Right behind them is Craig Richards as well.
This freight train from second, third, fourth, fifth is intense. Right now at the back of it is Chapman. He's got some work to do if he's going to try to run down Haley. Something that no one's really had much success of this year is running Haley down. Give the guy a good start. He's been fast and consistent.
Noah Baker having a much better ride than he had in his heat race. He went down a few times, right behind Isaac Wallen here. Chapman looking for a way through as well. Dickerson actually losing Wallen just a bit.
Chapman goes inside.
Might get a two for
riders. Wow.
Look at Baker trying to get back down the inside. Wallen around the outside, but Chapman controls the line, takes third. Oh, Wallen's down.
Just a little bit of impatience there. He could have tucked right back in line, tried to push the issue, and pushed it to the ground instead.
So now our two champions have Isaiah Dickerson in a bit of a sandwich.
Not a bad sandwich to be in if you're Dickerson, running here in the number 2 spot.
And Haley's
one of the newer members of this racing community, and he definitely has some serious speed.
Haley just was hugging the bales all the way down the whoops, and his bike didn't even wiggle. Just so clean. Go on board with Chapman for a minute here.
Haley kind of moved out of this 250 class pretty prematurely for most people. Dropped back down this year, and man, it's been a good move for him. He's been pretty dominant, to say the least.
Chapman, now that he's made his way around some of those guys, decides to use the outside to carry his momentum after the finish.
Isaiah Dickerson trying to put himself in the conversation for coming early. Obviously, we're talking real early for 2019 Supercross, as maybe the guy emerging as he's stuck between two established MX Simulator racers and a couple of champions this year who likely will move out of this class. And Dickerson maybe the one to take the throne over and be a favorite in the 250 division he lines up in.
I highly doubt he wants to be on a list of early comers.
At least he gets to the finish line.
And Dickerson is keeping Haley honest here.
It'll be interesting to see the lap times this time around. All three riders had a pretty clear track. 107.0, 106.4 for Dickerson, and a 106.0 for Chapman. So Chapman coming from the behind. The fastest man on the racetrack. I don't even have to try to do it.
You're killing it in this main, Chris, I'm telling you.
Well, you guys just sit back, enjoy our beverage, and I'll handle this. That's what she said.
Yeah, Dickerson looks like he really wants to try to get maybe around Haley and into the lead before Chapman gets to him. So definitely closer to Haley than Chapman is to him right now. Three-rider battle up front.
It's actually spreading out just a touch again. Chapman's made a couple mistakes and lost a little bit of time to Dickerson, but nothing he cannot make back up if he puts some laps together.
And Dickerson carried so much speed through that corner after the on-off.
Something I'm noticing I don't like about Jack Haley right now is he is cutting the bales across the start straight every lap.
Yeah.
Intentionally.
Dickerson getting steezy over the finish line. I like that.
Showing him a wheel on the inside of the first corner.
Losing a lot of time doing it, though. He didn't get the drive out of that rut. No traction down below it.
Let's notice Jack Haley actually avoided the inside rut through the first quarter entirely, maybe trying to set up a new line since that inside's getting a little bit deeper as we get almost halfway through this main event.
Or maybe just pushed a little too deep into the turn. We'll have to see what he does next lap. There's a lapper down in front of them. He's going to be able to see him and avoid him. See if Chapman can get through as well. He does.
How about Isaac Wallen still running fourth and Phil Bull charging his way forward? He is in fifth.
Tyler Lang runs in the 6th spot. Ivan Medina, Noah Baker, Matthias Janis, and rounding out your top 10 is Devin Ryan. I have a rider down. That was Noah Baker, so he's going to crash outside the top 10. Back at the front of the field, Haley has opened up a couple second gap now, and Dickerson's fallen into the clutches of Rush Chapman. Those top 3 guys have a 16-second gap back to 4th right now.
Chapman back down into the 106 range this time, 106.4, working around some lap traffic already here.
So Haley went back to that inside rut with as he goes around Lapper and down into the sand section.
Man, that single at the end of the sand, every time I see it in first person, it looks like it's just going to kick him to the moon.
Oh, Dickerson almost got cleaned up by a lapper over the on-off.
Yeah, that was Tyler Lewis on the 35.
Oh, go figure. He's always inserting himself in multiple bad positions throughout the races.
Chapman has a run down the whoops on Dickerson. Dickerson gets sideways. He's going to leave the door open. Chapman almost into his back tire.
I'll tell you what, Dickerson continuously makes amazing saves at the end of the whoops. He was all out of shape, still got the quad, still made the corner, and still holds on to second place.
Is
that Haley down?
Nope, that was the lap rider. Jack Haley continues to lead 107.7, 107.4, 106.5. So Chapman the fastest that time around out of this lead group.
Oh, Dickerson down!
That was awkward. He was really just trying to avoid Haley.
Look at Dickerson back, shuts the door on Chapman and gets back through.
Chapman was very polite there.
Let's see who gets to drive into Thunder Alley. Dickerson actually stays a bit lower and gets away clean. Intense battle for second. Chapman almost lost the front wheel.
I have to almost apologize to everyone else in this race, but the battle up front has been so good. We're not seeing a lot of those guys. Don't want to miss the action up here. We went right past the halfway point.
This battle for second is amazingly good, though. Oh, and Chapman again almost tucking the front end. Maybe starting to get in those ruts just a little bit.
We're about to see
we were talking about earlier.
Haley's down. Haley down before the finish line, and he gets going behind. Well, that was his teammate, actually, but Chapman now, oh, he's trying to get around Jake Warden. There's Tyler Lewis right there around Warden as well. And Isaiah Dickerson is leading in Las Vegas.
And we're about to see our Versus PC 1 to watch coming up on the screen here pretty soon. Devin Davis is next rider to go a lap down. Not going well for him as he runs back in the 16 spot.
Chapman down exiting the stadium. Got all wonky cattywampus over the single into the other alley.
Gosh darn it, Alex Ray.
So the 2 champions folding right now in Las Vegas. And the newcomer, Isaiah Dickerson, holding the pocket aces going into the number 1 ride.
Oh, man, I was just about to say.
Out of the whoops.
And he's down! And he's over the berm.
It's over the berm in the opposite lanes, and here comes Haley through. Will Chapman get there? I think he will.
Yeah, definitely, by the time he gets on track.
Dickerson, nice track reentry, goes around the berm and jumps back in on the edge.
Tyler Lewis, you're right, Mark. Last week he just seemed to be in every little battle that we kept watching, and it's not his fault. I mean, he just is getting lapped early here, but still just right in this mix.
Yeah, he's not afraid to stick it in there, even with the leaders.
Oh, man. So Jack Haley back out front. Rush Chapman into second. Dickerson back to third. Now that they're spread out a little bit, we can jump back into the field. We peek back to fourth and see Isaac Wallen.
Chapman down in the sand again. Didn't come off, though. He's getting back up right away. Just losing 1 position to Dickerson.
Phil Bull runs fifth. Tyler Lang. Devin Ryan. Nice ride going for Andrew Massart, running up in the number 8 spot.
Him and Devin Ryan swapping positions a bit there.
Ivan Medina rounds out the top 10.
Gotta say, this is probably not the night Matthias Janis wanted. I would say he's relatively on par with his teammate Isaiah Dickerson in the speed department. Obviously in a much further back position, though. Not a whole lot of battling going on back for these guys. It was all the action up front early on, and now it's Haley just cruising out front as Chapman makes another mistake.
Yeah, the battle for 7th is decent. Well, just as I say that, Massart makes a mistake, but then he loses a spot to Ash Deering, so that's maybe the best battle on the racetrack right now is Deering, Massart, and Medina.
Yeah, it looks
right
like
at the tail end of that top 10.
Medina's actually going to get pretty close to Massart after all that.
There's a pretty big bump coming out of the rut right before the finish as Medina triples up on the inside. Massart comes back, crossing lines. A lot of lines being used, though. I'm liking that.
I think it's a product. Oh, is Deering down, and oh man, poor old Medina. He has just no place to go. Just has to wait
Better
for
off
him.
just waiting.
It goes around the
That was
outside
rough.
finally.
Also just noticed after the Supercross triple, as the leaders were coming around onto the start straight, it's getting a little bit choppy. I saw both Chapman and Dickerson almost lose it there.
There's a clean line developing on the very inside, but it looks like it's pretty tricky to get into.
And you got to understand too, for those watching the broadcast, that these side angles we keep seeing of the track maybe give you a bit like a better perspective of the ruts than these guys are actually seeing. So we'll go on board here with Chapman in third, so you guys get a real idea of the track as it's developing. These ruts are kind of hard to see as they're coming into them.
Yeah, it's definitely getting choppy and beat up as the lap times are slowing down here, even for your front guys who are accustomed to riding in these conditions.
Chapman had a great drive through the whoops, and Dickerson made a small mistake, so this battle's really tightening up.
Chapman again losing the front end just a little bit going onto that start straight. He's able to keep it under him, but as that gets gnarlier and gnarlier.
And did
have
you
to watch
guys
that.
see the size of that rut coming into the rhythm section? It's almost a wall.
We're at the 14-minute mark, so we're finding the end of this race here real soon.
Quite honestly, these guys are still within reach of Haley, who had a little bit of problems with some lappers there just a moment ago. And he is not... The time will not expire by the time he gets back by next time, so we have about 2.5 laps to go still.
And Rush Chapman now all over the back of Isaiah Dickerson.
Getting the huckabuck in the whoops, though, so he's not going to be able to complete the pass.
Nerve-wracking when you have a lapper right behind you like that, though. Just hoping he doesn't make a mistake and plow into you.
Never fun getting plowed from behind by a lapper.
Here's Chapman tripling onto
Chapman
the
gets
table.
triple.
To the inside, nothing.
Dickerson holds on, but this battle continues.
2 to go.
They're about 5.5 seconds behind Jack Haley.
Mistake from Dickerson.
Oh,
gets into
Chapman.
him.
Yeah. Zoe Cross down at the end of the sand there. That was not Haley on the ground. So Haley controlling this race, but anything can happen in MX Simulator, that's for sure. One fall-off crash, and this thing is wide open. Haley taking it easy. Coming to the white flag next time by.
Now looking at the map ahead, he has quite a few lappers that he may encounter here. And if they fall down in the wrong spot, especially with all these ruts that are formed, could be trouble for the 57.
Well, real quick before Haley goes on to the last lap, we'll head back one more time and take a look at our versus PC. One to watch from this one is he is invisibly rage quitted. Or maybe DDoSed?
No,
I
I checked earlier, he was not under DDoS.
So Devin Davis out of the shootout.
We have a new leader.
Oh, change of the lead.
Something happened to Haley as we were checking on Devin
What
Davis.
the heck?
And so now, Dickerson, with heavy pressure from Rush Chapman, 1 lap to go, finds himself in the number 1 spot. These guys switched their lineup, leaving the sand as it's gotten beat up. Haley goes right down the rough line, sending it, trying to get up into this battle.
Update from chat, Devin Davis was using a VPN and I guess got kicked from the server.
Rush all over the backside of Isaiah Dickerson as they enter the whoops on the final lap.
And Chapman has been good in the whoops. Does he have another drive as he gets on the rear wheel? He's getting bounced, though, and he's going to go down. He is off the bike.
Nailed that quad better than he has all race and the whoops.
This is going to be Dickerson's first career main event victory right here. If he can just hold on one more straightaway. What a time to do it, too, in the 250 East-West Showdown in Las Vegas. The 65 of Isaiah Dickerson is down in the final corner, and he hands it over to Haley. 1 corner to go, and Jack Haley wins the main event in Las Vegas. Oh, my goodness.
Oh my gosh, the disappointment.
Isaiah Dickerson finishes in second, Russ Chapman in third.
I thought Valtteri Bottas looked dejected last week, and I can only imagine the look on Isaiah's face right now.
Oh, my. Isaac Wallen,
Speechless.
4th place here. Phil Bull is in 5th, right in front of T-Lang, so this could come down to the final corner. Bull gets into cross, and T-Lang is going to go down, and here's Caden Speck sideways in the track. And Tyler Lane gets 5th. Ash Deering looks like he's got 6th wrapped up here, so that I was wrong when I was talking about Ash Deering before.
That was 7.
Or 7th, yeah, sorry. Devin Ryan, 8th. Ivan Medina, 9th. Craig Richards, 10th. Janice, 11th. Eagland, 12th. And Massart, who I thought was Deering, my apologies, is in and will finish in 13th as he is the last guy on the lead lap.
That really just happened.
Cuts are in and confirmed. Jack Haley is the winner of the 250 East-West Showdown in Las Vegas, rather unexpectedly, as Isaiah Dickerson crashes out of the lead in the final corner in the final lap of the final race of the season. Oh, man. Unbelievable. And if you thought that was crazy, for the first time in MX Simulator Pro Supercross history, we have an exact tie coming into this 450 main event. It is mono-e-mono, Colton Mitchell versus Alexis Leclerc. Whoever beats whom is going to be your champion tonight.
Coming to the gate for the 450 main event, the last one of the 2018 MotoOption Supercross Series, it's Billy Kunitz, Kevin Ferzaka, Jeremy Konauer, Casey Ohlert, Peter the Locomotive Like, Ethan Triptez Parks, Salty Walty Gebhardt, Big Line Barb Reed Young, it's Brina, Bryce Stanley Steamer Wheelan, Dudu Eduardo Simos, Jack Flower Power Fowler, Brock Pearson, Robert Wilson, Adam Holm, Jake West, Chase Blakely, Jeremy Shipley, Dylan Gatlin, Alexis Leclerc, Spencer Turley, Colton Mitchell. Round out your field. We're going to go 20 minutes plus 1 lap, all out, bar-to-bar action for a championship. Are you ready?
I know I'm ready. This is going to be epic. A lot of pressure on Leclerc. Led the championship all season long. Some unfortunate circumstances at Foxborough. Eventually, he did not make it through into the main event out of the last chance qualifier. Missed the main event entirely. Lost the points lead to Mitchell. Won last week at Salt Lake City to get it back to a tie. And it is on in Vegas. 20 minutes.
Here's your pick.
Plus 1 lap. Quick picks, guys.
Going with the 7.
I still like Alexis as well.
All right. It is on. The showdown in Vegas for the championship of the 450 crown. The finale from Las Vegas is underway.
Gate is down. Terrible start for Mitchell and Leclerc. Both. There's a pile up down the start straight. They're both getting through, it looks like.
No idea how Leclerc didn't get hit on that, but it's Kohenauer with the hole shot. Second for Leclerc early on. We have to keep an eye.
Pile up, exiting the first corner.
Oh, Mitchell down out of the first corner. And it's a land rush right behind Leclerc. Down the inside, tried to go Shipley, it looks like, and he slid out. So now it's a sandwich. MV Films riders on either side of Leclerc.
Look at home.
checking up behind him. Does he go inside here? Yes, he does. Down the inside, block pass. Leclerc has to check up and gets the drive in the inside of the whoops and hangs on to the spot.
Oh, Kellenauer makes a mistake out front. Leclerc almost down.
Oh, hung up in the background. I think that was Reed Young tipping over. Mitchell early is in 10th right now. Looks like he might have been collected in that pileup.
Pileup, yeah.
There's a 40-rider garage sale, yard sale, bike parts sale going on after the quad. Colton Mitchell is in 17th place.
Oh, no. And Leclerc is in second. Kohenauer is leading this race, though.
Shipley out of the LCQ. Looks like he's charging hard in the third spot. You got to be careful not to over push the racetrack right now when there's no lines formed, as Shipley sliding all over the track in that first turn.
Oof, Leclerc got a big kick and almost down. Off. Gets back on the track right in front of Shipley still. I got to say, Leclerc doesn't look just as polished as he did in the heat race just yet.
I'm sure he's feeling it.
The pressure settling in. Still 18 minutes plus 2 laps away, but the championship looks well within reach for Leclerc. Mitchell has got all the work in the world to do.
Down.
And there goes Kohenauer out of the lead, so Leclerc to the front. That is Shipley right behind him in second. And Leclerc already starting to nail that line that he was doing in the heat race. Let's see if he will take off from here.
I don't think he made up any time doing it, actually. Shipley stayed right on his back tire. They had identical lap times last time around as well.
Holm
so
also
Shipley barely made this main event, and now got a chance to win the thing.
Yeah. I think Holm wants something to say about it as well right here in third. Verzaka is fourth, Kohenauer fifth, Wilson sixth, Fowler seventh, Gatlin eighth, Turley ninth, Young 10th, and here is Colton Mitchell in 11th. So he's already made up some spots, but you can see time-wise, he's quite far behind Leclerc. He's going to need a miracle at this point.
Yep, he definitely needs to hope that Shipley can get up there and make a battle of it with Leclerc, maybe force him into a mistake. Leclerc is so good with a clean track.
Just to give you an idea, Leclerc was already into the whoop section before Mitchell even left the stadium. Nearly a half a lap ahead, I would say. Oh,
Leclerc makes a
Leclerc.
mistake.
This might be Shipley's opportunity to go into the lead, and it will be down the inside. He's going to take it away from the 7, and Holmes still lurking right there in third.
Difficult situation if you're Leclerc, trying to decide how hard to push it forward for the win, risk making a risky pass and losing more time.
Yeah, I think he's definitely not riding as aggressive as we have seen before, but look at this around the outside on Shipley. Almost got the pass done, but Shipley launches ahead of him and hangs on to the race lead.
Holm is very aggressive in the third spot, almost too aggressive. Looks like he's overriding the track just a little bit right now.
Looks like Leclerc might be getting a little bit impatient. Shipley tucks to the
there he
inside.
goes.
Oh, boy. Oh, Shipley saved it, but Leclerc to the race lead again. Here comes Holm quadding in behind him.
Three-rider battle for the lead. Nice recovery there from Shipley. Leclerc elected not to try that double in this time.
Shipley and Holmes still giving chase, and these three have definitely broken away as Kohenauer now 7 seconds back.
And Kohenauer all by himself in fourth.
Mitchell now up to 8th, as you can see, 28 seconds behind Alexis Leclerc. I think if Leclerc can put in 5 or so good laps here, this is really going to put it in the bank. If he were to crash, get kind of caught up with some of these guys, you never know, but the way he is going right now, the lead he's already developed, could be goodbye time.
Don't forget, though, they do have to deal with lap traffic and a deteriorating racetrack. We're only 5 minutes into this thing. A lot can happen. We saw it in that 250 race in the last turn. We thought it was all sealed up when Isaiah Dickerson throws it away.
Oh, God. Could you imagine Alexis going down in the last corner for the title?
Oh, he's down with the lead. Did notice that Mitchell also went down. He is now 38 seconds behind your race leaders, as it is now between Shipley and Holm for the race lead. And see Mitchell in the background just re-entering the stadium, and Leclerc gets up still in third. Kohenauer has not yet gone through. Oh my, oh, and Holm is down. I thought Shipley was going to go down, and then suddenly I see Holm is upside down in the air. So Holm off the bike. There goes Kohenauer. Here comes Frzaka.
Colton Mitchell over 30 seconds behind Alexis Leclerc at the moment.
Not going to get it done. And he moves up to 11th. Actually back to 12th. He's battling with Walter Gebhardt. Meanwhile, the battle for third between Holm and Frzaka is still a good one. Or that was fourth, I should say. Shipley is still leading this thing. We are 7 minutes into this race. And Leclerc sits in second, which will clinch him the title as we run.
As we get further into the race, and if Mitchell doesn't start to get any closer, I feel like somebody will be letting Leclerc know that, and it might allow him to loosen up a little bit and go after the win and be a little more aggressive. Right now, I'm sure he's just content being in second.
So here is Mitchell, currently 11th. He's gotten around Gebhardt. The next person he needs to get is Pearson. No, I'm sorry, Jake West is ahead of, I don't know what just happened. Pearson is a lap down, my apologies. So Pearson is now behind Mitchell. Looks like Blakely also went down.
We've lost Adam Holm out of third. Kohenauer's moved into the spot now. Holm dropped into the fourth spot.
Oh, and Mitchell is through the front door, over the bars, and it has gone from bad to worse. Just as Mitchell starts making up time again, he goes down. And Leclerc slides down in the final corner, but Shipley's still leading this thing.
And he slides it out. Leclerc gives him a little love tap on the way by. Says, hello, bro. I'll go out front.
So at this point, it's looking pretty dire for Mitchell, and I wonder what part of that will also change Leclerc's mentality into just going for it for the win, and how deep into the race we get before he changes his mind to that. Obviously, he wants to win the race, but championship mode could come into play at some point, unless Mitchell's too far back to do anything about it.
Leclerc appears to have this Vegas track wired at the moment. Nice ride going for Jeremy Kohenauer on the number 30.
Yeah, led this race early on. Still sitting in third and has his teammate Holm right behind him, but otherwise there's not a whole lot of pressure going on for this top 5 group. In fact, here comes Holm already closing back up to Kohenauer again. Robert Wilson sitting in 5th, made his way around for Frzaka to get into that position. Spencer Turley.
Teammates putting in a good race.
Yeah, trying to go back and find ourselves Colton Mitchell again, which, boy, oh boy, if you thought that it was getting bad, you should see who's coming behind Colton Mitchell here as Eduardo Simos just pulls out of the way for your race leader, Alexis Leclerc. Colton Mitchell is about 3 seconds away from getting lapped.
Got to be just deflated at the moment. It all came unraveled, even the first turn.
Yeah, I think it's that first turn that he'll go back to, and everything kind of kicked off, but yeah.
Not just the first turn here in Vegas as Mitchell actually slides down, and there goes
Leclerc lapping him
right on by him. But I feel like it's been the starts all year. I mean, that's the strength of Alexis Leclerc, and obviously he's a fantastic racer. don't get me wrong, but getting out front makes things so much easier.
Well, if you're just tuning in, it looks like we were having the best championship race ever with Mitchell right behind Leclerc. Unfortunately, Mitchell is a lap down. Leclerc with the good start, as per usual. Got out front early. Mitchell down in the first corner, had trouble after trouble, and we were just past halfway point in this race. And unless something very dramatic happens to Leclerc, it is his championship to lose at this point.
You know, just in case the viewers are just joining, we better call this like it is a race for the lead.
That sounds fun. I think Mitchell, at this point, realizes the championship's out. He just wants to have a fun race battle with Leclerc like everyone wanted to see.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, he's still making mistakes and not even able to keep pace with him as he goes a lap down.
I talked about it earlier in the night. Ooh, Leclerc out of shape, but saves it. I mean, this is Leclerc's 6th season in the 450 class, yet it's only Mitchell's first, so kudos to Mitchell to take it all the way to Vegas to begin with. But I think the experience, having won a 450 championship before Leclerc has, he's won European titles as well, knows how to get it done in these big moments.
Yeah, he just carries a lot of confidence with him as well.
Gets good
He's
starts.
actually stretched out this race lead considerably too, up to 11 seconds. So it's kind of at this point he's a lap ahead of Mitchell. Pretty much a victory lap going on for Alexis Leclerc as we just passed the halfway point of this race.
Yeah, not a whole lot of battling going on inside of the top 10. Turley just went down, so Blakely goes through. Jake West was about to get by Turley, but he flips off the track. And then Reed Young and Colt Mitchell are both a lap down. So West is the last guy on the lead lap, but he's not about to be for much longer. He is in 10th. And he has now been lapped by Alexis Leclerc. So Leclerc, honestly, new mission might be lap as much of the field as he can because he's pretty far up already. And there's still 7 minutes plus 2 laps to go, or plus a lap to go.
Pretty anticlimactic as we came in here with a tied points championship, but Alexis Leclerc doing what he has to do. Makes it boring for us, but probably pretty exciting for him.
Yep. First 450 Supercross championship will await Leclerc at the end of this race. He already won the Race Factor Gaming North America 450 outdoor title back in 2014. He was the last guy not named Jesse Mullins to win the outdoor title.
So you're saying we're going to have a new outdoor champion this year, huh?
That looks to be the case,
Won't
obviously.
be defending the crown, of course. Those of you that maybe missed us, Jesse Mullins permanently banned from MX Simulator racing competition after causing some issues for other competitors. Pretty chicken shit move, pardon my French, but that's what it is.
Oh, French, I get it.
Just celebrating our French champion to be out front, Alexis Leclerc, right now.
Yeah, no proud Americans here, man. We bow down to the French.
Adam Holm, every single time he gets close to cone hour, he crashes again.
Just game plan, man. Winning the medal game.
There you go. Robert Wilson having a fantastic ride in 5th for Zaka. Lots of frustrations after missing the main at the beginning of the season a few times and then hasn't raced most of the season.
This 7 and 8 battle might be pretty exciting. Blakely and Gebhardt, neither one of them strangers to getting aggressive on the racetrack.
The 1-3 and 3-1 in your program books.
Both of them are extremely fast, but struggle a little bit with consistency and decision making on the racetrack typically, which holds them back out of a lot of championship fights, but they can definitely get it done at times.
And Blakely not able to make enough headway yet to Gebhardt, but definitely close. Turley, West, Young, man, the field has just been thinned out back here. And now it looks like Mitchell is pretty much just out here joyriding a little bit. He will have second in the championship locked up, no problem.
Yeah, Mitchell just absolutely sending it. Good for him, not just rage quitting out. Like I said, I have to feel like he's got to be pretty deflated in the moment. I sure would be.
Yeah, this obviously not the championship fight we wanted to see, and definitely not the fight Mitchell wanted to see. Blakely got around Gebhardt though, so we missed that pass, but actually behind them is Verzaka. So they both got around him. Now Gebhardt's going to try to fight back on Blakely here.
Ride her down right in the main line.
Mitchell. So now it looks like Verzaka might have a shot. Oh,
You going backwards at one of Simo's on the 80.
What the heck?
Maybe hit his head when he crashed and was not sure which way the track went.
Things have settled down just a little bit now. Still Leclerc leading. Shipley, Kohenauer, Holm, Wilson, Blakely, Verzaka, Turley, Gebhardt, and Gebhardt is the last guy on the lead lap. Still this battle back here between kind of Verzaka, Turley, and Gebhardt, kind of the closest ones going on. Actually looks like Blakely might be catching Robert Wilson ever so slowly here.
Zaka tied up with a pair of lappers, one of them being Colton Mitchell. That'll bring Spencer Turley and Walter Gebhardt right up behind him.
Close.
Blakely and Wilson battling for the number 5 spot right now.
Blakely actually maybe had a line on him into the corner after the finish, but elected not to go for the pass. Lost a little bit of time because of it, but he's still right there.
Colton Mitchell has disconnected from the race. So that means officially our 2018 MotoOption Supercross champion is the 7 of Alexis Leclerc.
Tough deal for Mitchell, but how about this move for Blakely down the inside, and he puts Wilson on the ground, aggressive, puts him into 5th. Wilson has a big enough gap for all this stuff going on behind him, so he doesn't have to worry too much about that. Lappers everywhere as Turley and Verzaka are still kind of mixed together. They are a lap down now as Leclerc is in front of them.
Leclerc just ran a 104.4, his fastest lap of the race last time around on lap 17. As gnarly and rough as the track is, that's pretty incredible.
Ooh, Verzaka over the bars, but he saves it. That was weird. And then he gets Turley back.
That looks like an LCQ battle right there.
And it's your battle for 7th.
Maybe that makes it all that more amazing that Leclerc just ran his fast lap of the race, because the track's obviously tore up. But Mitchell did just disconnect as he ran that too, so maybe that's just the pressure coming off. Leclerc's just like, I can send it now.
Yep. Zach actually now getting back away from Turley, so went over the bars, got him back, and then just starts pulling away. Leclerc is well out in front of Shipley, though. Shipley just exiting the stadium as Leclerc is already well back into the stadium, almost 20 seconds. And I think Leclerc, will get the white flag next time by.
Going to put the finishing touches on a great season with one more lap to go in Las Vegas. As time has expired and the white flag flies for the number 7, Alexis Leclerc.
Yeah, truly a great job. The adversity he went through with the DDoS situation he had in Foxborough set him out of whack for the whole evening. He was not DDoS for the rest of the evening, but flat out missed out of the heat race and the LCQ and missed the main event at Foxborough. Otherwise, he quite honestly might have already had the title wrapped up coming into this race because of his points lead prior to Foxborough, but made it a little bit more interesting for us viewers. But I think it was Leclerc's season all along, and he's going to take this thing home with style.
Joked about the number 7 on his bike looking like a lot like a number 1. Well, next year he'll be able to run that number 1.
Yes, he will.
But just for good measure, decides to put a lapper over the berm.
Yeah, that's Robert Wilson actually in 6th, so Leclerc lapping nearly up to the top 5. But here it is, the final section of the season, and your champ is here. Ring the bells in France. The number 7 of Alexis Leclerc is your 2018 MotoOption Supercross Series champion. And he does it in style with a victory here in Las Vegas to take home the title. Well done, Leclerc. Battles behind him, still coming in. Shipley, as long as he doesn't crash, should hang on for second. Kohenauer, I think this will be his first podium of the year. He won a main event in the Triple Crown at Atlanta earlier this year, but I don't believe he's yet landed on the podium. Either way, it will be Shipley who takes second tonight. Great ride out of the LCQ. And Kohenauer will stamp that ticket onto the podium. The final podium spot of the season goes to Jeremy Kohenauer on the number 30. His teammate Adam Holm tried so hard to get to him many times and just could not quite do it. He's going to end up 4th. And Chase Blakely will be the last guy on the lead lap this year. He will also be the last guy to finish inside of the top 5 this season, as the number 13 BPC Zook finishes in 5th. Behind that, Wilson, Turley, Frazaka, Gebhardt, Like, Young, West, Simos, Gatlin, Parks, Ritzler, Ohlert, Pearson, Mitchell, Fowler, Kunitz, Whelan, and that is it from Vegas. Well, not what we expected out of this 450 class, but still a fun night of racing nonetheless, right guys?
Absolutely. And another season in the books. It went by so fast, and now we're looking towards the great outdoors in a couple weeks.
Heck yeah, well, big shout out to all of our sponsors again. Of course, MotoOption Clothing, huge shout out for them sponsoring the series, 7th year in a row. And another great MotoOption Supercross series in the books. Versus PC for putting on this broadcast. VersusPC.com to check them out. Race Tech Suspension. Chris, you know a little bit about those guys, right?
I've heard of them once or twice.
FamMX Designs, Squid Squad, MXS Servers, MXS EMF, and all of us here at Start Your Systems as well. It's been a great season of MotoOption Supercross. Appreciate each and every one of you guys who have showed up for the broadcast. Congratulations to your 2018 champions, Russ Chapman, Jack Haley, and your 450 champion, Alexis Leclerc. Any final thoughts, Mark?
I was trying to drink my beer. No, thanks again to all the competitors, all the track makers, all the hosts for all the work that they put into it. I really do enjoy watching this, and it was great entertainment for myself on Wednesday nights. A bit of an anticlimactic end there with Colt Mitchell waving the white flag quite early in that main event, but still fun.
Yeah, definitely fun indeed, and I appreciate every one of you guys for joining us all season long. Of course, it's on to the outdoors now. You guys saw the promo in the middle of the stream for the outdoors coming up. So head over to the forums to see the racing thread on it, and mxscmf.com will have all of your information heading forward. Great season in the books. MotoOption Supercross is now done. Let's head to the great outdoors. We will see you guys at Hangtown.